So you said in the past that you played piano and like you were a violinist before
Yeah,
you learned guitar.
yeah, I started on piano and very young, and I had a great teacher at the music school there in the Bronx, and this guy was tremendous, and I really had a good chemistry with him. Learning both clefs, left, right, really, really advancing fast, and the guy quit and I went somewhere else, and I was devastated. I really was. And they gave me this old biddy as a new piano teacher, and I said, no way. So I, I wish I would have stuck. I really did, but I would have been a
Wow.
keyboard player, but I don't think it would have led to the guitar. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what about the guitar made you want to pursue it?
So, but then I went to violin in junior high school, and then it was like I went from like last violin. I never played before. I went from last violin in a matter of weeks. I was first violin, and so I mean, my musical aptitude. They told my parents it was like pretty off the charts, and so what happened was is like when I was growing up, it was like the '60s, and you had like the Beatles and Rolling Stones, and you had the '67 and the Doors and Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and the Cream and everything, and all these guys were like playing guitar, man, with these, and I'm looking at myself, I'm going like, dude, like you're like this nerdy Jewish kid from the Bronx. You really got to get your act together, man. This is, I was like, wow, man. It was like I had glasses, and it was like pens and I fucking dweeb, man. And
That's
so
funny.
I think I said, Grandma, I want to play guitar. And so she goes, she loved me like she was, and she goes, let's go get a guitar. So like we walked down to the music store, and I got an acoustic guitar, and I started playing, and then I got my first electric guitar, and I took it from there. I mean, it was the time of the guitar player those
Yeah.
days. No,
So I
so
guess fans can thank your grandma.
yeah.
So as a guitarist, how important are the blues to you?
Well, that's everything to me. I mean, it's just. I mean, I might have done other. I'm known for other things in my life, but I mean, to me, that's the cornerstone of my music. It's the cornerstone of my career. I mean, even though I don't play blues records, I mean, I'm going to do one eventually, but I just BB King and Albert and Freddie and Muddy Waters and Hubert Sumlin and you know all the guys that influenced Elvis Presley's band, all those guys, James Burton.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was like all that came before. I mean, much before me, but I mean, you had to go back to where rock and roll came from, you know, and where did it come from? It came from the Mississippi Delta, it came from Chicago, it came from Detroit, so I was, I mean, I listen to the blues every day. I really do. I mean,
Hmm.
and BB King is my all-time favorite guitar player. And it's like that's because if you noticed, I'm not really a shredder.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm a man of notes, but when I have to play fast, I have to play fast. I know I do. I know that's part of my job, but
Yeah.
I can do it. But I'm not like I'm not like Malmsteen or Steve Vai kind of guitar player. I mean, it's like more like Angus Young.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, dig in deep rock and roll, plug in and go.
Well, even Geezer Butler said the heaviest music's the blues.
Of course it is.
It's the root of pretty much everything. Now, you were
Yeah,
saying some of your favorite guitarists. Were there any concerts you saw back in the day that shaped like the guitarist you are today? Were
I saw.
concerts big for you?
Well, I saw Cream twice.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I saw Cream at City College, and then I saw Farewell Cream, and
Mm.
then I started going to the Fillmore by myself. Like sneaking out of my house and going to the Fillmore. I mean, I saw
Wow.
everybody. Anybody that played the Fillmore, it was great. Hold on a second. Jesus.
No worries.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm like, I used to go to the Fillmore a lot, and see a lot of bands because, anyone that played like Jefferson Airplane, Yorma Kekkonen, Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia, I would like mimic their styles. I would learn their things. I would go into them and learn what they, what they were doing. And then, Butterfield Blues Band, Mike Bloomfield and Elvin Bishop, and like even Chicago Transit Authority. That guy Terry Kath was a genius, and even Hendrix
Yeah.
said he was a fucking genius. And every Santana, I love Santana. I love that guy. I loved a lot of guitar play. Peter Green was a huge influence on
Mm,
Peter Green from Fleetwood Mac. I
yeah.
mean, he had that brownie guitar, which he to Gary Moore. And I was on tour. The Dictators were on tour with AC/DC and Thin Lizzy. And like I walk in, and like it's a story, it's a famous story. I walk into Thin Lizzy's dressing room, and there he was, Gary Moore. And guess what he was playing?
What?
He was playing Greenie. That's the guitar. That's Peter Green's guitar. That's that guitar
Wow.
Kurt Hammock bought for like $50 million or
Yeah,
whatever.
ridiculous.
Yeah, paid a huge, I mean, a gigantic sum of money for that guitar. Um, I'll never forget it. And I played it. And Gary Moore, you want to play? Yeah.
It was
Yep.
stupid not to.
It's just Gibson. I mean, I got Gibson. You know, I mean,
Wow. Jesus.
that's a few of them. But you know, I just I'm like, wow, that guitar is really special.
Yeah.
Special guitars of each thing. So
That's awesome. So, what was your life like between picking up your first guitar and forming the Dictators?
well, it was junior high school, high school. I'm in high school and playing guitar. I'm away at summer camp, and I'm really learning guitar, really practicing hard. I was even, I never went to camp. I was always working in the dish, working as a counselor. And my parents never just sent me to camp because I don't think they could afford it. But, so it was a good experience. It was a great experience.
That's
I
awesome.
never forgot the summer. Are You Experienced comes out. Disraeli Gears comes out. And then the first Cream record comes out. I mean, 69. I mean, that was like ridiculous.
Wow.
Oh my God.
What a
What a
lineup.
wow. And I'm trying to figure out Hendrix. Who's this guy? It's like the sounds that he got were just absolutely freaking phenomenal. And
Insane.
he did it all live. And no one has yet to recreate that. But it was all great things for me. I mean, I was just, when your brain is that young, when you're that young, you really absorb a lot of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
you absorb a lot of technique and musicality, which I had. I mean,
That's really awesome to hear because I feel like a lot of metalheads are in almost like a metal tunnel vision where they don't take from anything else besides just the genre. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. And that's really cool to hear that you
well,
took from like a lot of classic rock and whatnot.
if you really think about it, Black Sabbath was a blues band called Earth in the beginning.
Totally. Yeah.
They started on, all those people. Jethro Tull was a blues band. All the guys were, English, the English blues, like the Rolling Stones came over to America and went right to Chess Records, you know, recorded at Chess Records. It's in the movie, and
Yeah.
I mean, they paid homage. And later they paid homage to Willie Dixon, and then after that they paid Willie Dixon. They got paid because those guys were making money off the black artists,
Yeah.
you know, doing their songs, and finally they got paid. It was great to see it, and they got paid. I'm so happy.
Yeah, yeah. Even like you were talking about the blues with Sabbath, their last song on their first record's literally just a blues jam, Sleeping Village.
Yeah.
It's like this
Yeah.
14-minute jam. It's crazy. So let's talk about the Dictators. So the Dictators formed while you were in college, right?
Well, I wasn't in college.
Okay.
I
So
missed
were you at a college party?
that. We when my first really kind of serious band was called Total Crud. It was
Okay.
kind of and then it was kind of a joke, but it was a serious band, and everybody when I got into New Paltz College in New Paltz, New York, upstate, up the thruway, and it's a state college, and everyone's there. I said, we got a house, you got to come up. I go, what do you mean I come up? I got, yeah, you could live there, and we can hang out in our house and play. I go, okay. So I wasn't in school, I didn't have a job, so I went up there, and it was we called it the Out of It House, and it was just this. We throw parties in there. If you think of the John Belushi movie, what was it?
Animal House.
Yeah, that's what it was. And play in the living room,
Wow.
and we'd have our own parties, and then we played at fraternity parties, and then we played at New Paltz, and there was always parties. It was like New Paltz was considered the second greatest party college in the America then,
Hmm.
other than UCLA. So we used to play a lot of parties, and then one day this big tall guy, comes to see me. He says, I said, "Hi, you come to you see I see you at a lot of our shows." He goes, "Yeah," and he goes, "Well, you want to form a band?" I go, I'm in a band." He goes, "No, you're not." He goes, "A real band?" I go, "Oh, I'm looking to start a new band." Yeah, which I was, and he goes, "Well, my name's Andy." And sure enough, so we met in Newport's, and we decided to form a band. We didn't even have a name yet. So
Hmm.
like, oh, we're gonna need to do something, get a place that we can, actually, you know, get it together. So I got this house out in the middle of a cornfield in Crahon, New York, really out of,
Wow.
and it was like cheap, and it was like this house, and um we got together, and we got our friend Scott to come up, Scott Kempner from the Bronx. Um, and then he was friends with Manitoba, Richard Hansen Manitoba, who wasn't in the band, but he came up because he had a car, and he would cook us breakfast and stuff. It was our breakfast chef. And
Nice.
yeah, and so we had the three of us, and we got a drummer. We auditioned the drummer, some guy from Poughkeepsie, who had to drive all the way through from Poughkeepsie up to Kerhonkson, 4455. And so we had a drummer, and then Andy. The thing about Andy was he was a writer. He was also a rock writer, and he wrote for Crawdaddy and some other stuff. But he had his own.
Cool.
He had a fanzine called the Teenage Wasteland Gazette, and he was friends with this guy Richard Meltzer. Okay, now Richard Meltzer was also a writer, but he was really best friends with Sandy Pearlman. This guy Sandy Pearlman, who turns out to be the manager of Blue Oyster Cult.
Wow.
Okay, so
That's some
there's the
networking right there.
yeah. So all of a sudden, so then we're talking. Then the next thing we got like three or four songs together. We were feeling pretty good. It wasn't really not a lot of singing or anything, but we had a few good songs. And so Meltzer said, I'm bringing Sandy Pearlman up. We're driving up to see you." I go, "Whoa." Sandy
Wow.
Pearlman comes up, drives up in his Saab, drives up, pulls up into our freaking cornfield, and he gets in, our little fucking house, and we're playing, and then I played a couple of songs for him, and then the first thing he said was, "We're not signing with MCA."
Hmm.
And like, you got to understand this. We hadn't played a gig yet. We have, Andy and Scott barely played their instruments, but I taught them a lot. And he was like, I look at them and go, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Next next thing you know, next thing you know, told the drummer to get away. Next thing you know, we moved down back to the city, and we got a demo budget from CBS because Sandy and his partner Murray Krugman, the production team of Blue Oyster Cult, and we got a demo deal, and then they signed us to CBS.
That's awesome. That's crazy. That's so unheard of for bands because,
Yeah,
you'll play shows for like 2 years and
yeah.
hopefully get something.
No, I know. It's an amazing story.
I feel like ever since that, you guys haven't really, you haven't really stopped,
No,
because then you get the call from your manager later about Shakin' Street.
yeah. Yeah. The Dictators haven't stopped really either. I mean, we started
Yeah,
touring.
you guys are
Nine, we're doing.
still going.
I can safely tell you that we are playing at the end of May 20th. Let me see. I'll tell you these dates. It's exclusive. They're announcing it in 45 minutes.
Oh, here we go.
There you go. There you go. Hold on. So after I come back from Europe on my tour,
Okay.
we play May 20th with the Damned. You know the Damned,
That
right?
Yes, I have an original record of theirs.
So it's going to be the Dictators in the Dam. May 20th, San Francisco, Regency Ballroom. May 21st, the Belasco Theater, Los Angeles. May 23rd, Ventura Theater in Ventura. May 24th, the House of Blues, Anaheim. May
Mm,
20th, Observatory, 5 shows, and then home.
awesome. That's gonna be a fun show with the
Yeah,
Damned.
damn.
Is
And
that
the
yeah, the Damned and the Dictators. Is that
yeah.
like a co-headlining thing or is
Oh, I don't think we're co-head. I mean, we're playing. I
just
mean,
whatever?
listen, they're gonna get enough of us. I'm telling you. I don't think they
Yeah.
really, I don't think they know us, but I don't think they really know what we're like now with Keith Rourke singing and the new band with Albert Bouchard on drums.
Yeah,
You know,
it's really crazy how the Dictators have like a new life to them now.
absolutely. And it works live because we did a Canadian run. So we're just working on the record
Yeah, it's crazy. 1975 and here we are
and then yeah,
talking
and
about
then
a new record.
shows in Spain in September.
Wow. Well, hey, when you come to New England, I'll be there. I'm
You
in
bet.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's wild, man. So 1975, a lot's happened since then. If you were to go back to 1975, what piece of advice would you give your former self? Do you have any? I feel like you've gone through so much.
No, I don't know. I mean, what I would have done different.
Maybe, yeah.
There's always things that you could have done. Tons of things.
The stars kind of aligned for you,
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
much, though.
I would just, I don't know. I
Yeah.
couldn't have played any harder than I do. Still,
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
kind of nailed it, honestly, first go
yeah,
around.
yeah. So
Um, so after the Dictators, you got that call from your manager about Shakin' Street. Were you
yeah,
hesitant to go to
no,
France? Not at
no.
all. You were just
Not
like
Next
jump on
day,
the plane.
they
Yeah.
want, and Sandy goes, they want you. I go, who wants me? They want you. Who wants me? He goes, I I found this group Shakin' Street in Paris. They need a guitar player. I said, what happened to the other one? He goes, he sold his guitar for heroin. I go, oh, it's all right. All right. So
Wow.
I'm on the plane, go to Paris, pick me up, go to they have a room in the University of Paris. Eric has a room. Eric's, so plug in, blah, blah, I played like I don't know, 30 seconds. I played like 30 seconds and they stop it. Eric stops it and he goes, you want to join the band? It was my audition.
Shortest audition ever.
30 seconds.
So you guys tour with Sabbath, which is so awesome.
We
What
did
are your
Heaven.
yeah, Heaven and Hell tour? What are your favorite memories touring with Sabbath?
Oh, it was great. I mean,
Oof, I bet.
it was awesome going across the United States, driving to each show like maniacs, and you know, and then Bill Ward was out of his mind. He was driving in his own uh, Winnebago.
Oh God.
He was out of his mind, and just that fun fucking around with him every night was just, just it was really fun.
He was drinking like heavy
Oh,
then,
oh,
right?
he was, yeah,
Yeah.
putting it away, and
Oh God.
yeah,
No
he was,
Winnebago.
yeah, it was.
Wow. That's so funny. So your next band formed literally backstage in the dressing room, right? A Sabbath, which is pretty much the most metal way a band can ever
Well,
form.
absolutely. I mean, I'm opening up for my idols, Black Sabbath in England with Shakin' Street, and Ronnie Dio stops. After my sound check, he comes up to me and goes, really love your guitar playing, Russ, and I have this guy on our crew, and his name is Joey. He plays bass, and he says, yeah. And he goes, he plays like you've never seen. He goes, okay. So I looked him up, and he was there. He was helping the equipment guy Doc, and so we became friends.
He was
And
doing
we
like pyro, right?
he was doing Doc. Yeah, he was helping. He wasn't really on. Fudged the ride to he just fudged the ride to England with them helping Doc. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Joey and I started hanging out and talking, and we were in the same Sphere of Music, power 3-piece bands. We had a lot of the same, Grand Funk, Mountain, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix,
Cool.
you know, the all the power groups, the Who, so each guy like each guy is like fucking loud. Each guy's really, it's big and loud and fat, So we decided to do. We'd jam in Black Sabbath's dressing room while they were on stage in the audience. So
Wow.
like we I'll never forget. We're blasting away on their these orange Roland amps, these big, they're pretty loud. So, and the Sabbath is playing, and all of a sudden Sabbath stopped, boom, and we're up there in the dressing room, and we're like, and Keith is like, fucking hell, what's that? So Ryan goes, it's Russ and Joey, and Keith goes, oh, okay, get there.
Wow.
It was funny. This fucking hell, the Birmingham.
Yeah.
I was like, it was so. I saw. I was like watching it, because you could see down at on the stage in these places. So I'll never
Wow.
forget that.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Now,
Yeah. So the tour played, and we
uh-huh.
just my last Shakin' Street gig would be in Hawaii at Aloha Stadium. Molly Hatchet, Black Sabbath. I don't know,
Mhm.
BOC there and Shakin' Street, 3 bands. So we, it was like, and also it was a strange night because it was um uh, uh, Carmine's brother. What's his brother on drums? I forget.
Bill Ward?
No,
Are
not
you
Bill
talking
Ward.
about?
Bill Ward was gone. Bill Ward was gone. They had
Oh, yes, yes. Dio's guy. Yeah, I'm blanking.
a
I
piece.
know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What the fuck? How come I said
Yeah, I'm blanking too. It's like my favorite band. Um, yeah,
fuck?
because it was Dio's guy, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was his it was Tony's first time playing with a new drummer in his
Hmm.
entire, okay, and he was really freaking nervous. I could tell he was nervous. I said, "It's okay, bro. It's all right. It's gonna be fine. This guy's amazing, And
Yeah.
he started that, it's part of Black Sabbath,
And it worked out great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not with
So
Live Evil, obviously, but
and then
with everything else.
Joey and I went to my house, had a place in Mount Vernon, New York, and then we started writing songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it weird going from like Shakin' Street and the Dictators to like doing power metal? I feel
I
like that's such a
everyone
rough
asked
transition.
everyone asked me that, but I really didn't think that, you know, I was pretty much a heavy guitar player, I guess, and you can consider me that, but it was always I'm doing what I want to do, you know.
Yeah.
Did I
Yeah.
change? Did I change my style for Manowar? No, I don't think so. If I listen to it, not at all. I mean,
It
you know,
doesn't sound forced at all. It does
no,
sound very natural, like just it, which is so crazy, and that's why I asked because it's
Vinny,
what's that?
Vinny Appice,
Oh yes, yes.
Vinny,
Yeah, Jesus.
right?
Oh,
Uh, Mine and Vinny.
oh
Uh,
my God.
yeah.
How did I blank on that?
So yeah, no, I don't change my style. I mean, I don't know, I might throw in some fancy shit every now and then, but you know,
It's a natural evolution.
it's natural evolution from my heart, and that's the only way I play. You know, I'm not a I'm not thinking about, like, I'm listening to some of these records, and these guys are thinking, he's writing out these solos, and they make sure every note is perfect, and it's just like there has to I have to do a pentatonic solo into the minor third, and like, fuck that. that
No
no,
dream theater stuff.
no, and he's great, but I don't
Yeah.
play like I have my own thing. It seems to be working. It seems to have worked for me, and I'll continue to do that. So
Did Manowar invent power metal?
yeah, I
Yeah.
was yeah. I would say before what was there before battle hymns,
I guess I can't really think of anything.
right? What was there
Yeah.
before battle? You know,
You can maybe argue Iron Maiden, but not really like I don't think you can really say that.
No, Iron Maiden was more in the British wave, the new British wave of metal.
Yeah, yeah, they
You know,
were new British new wave.
with Saxon and
Diamond
Budgie,
Head.
Diamond Head, those guys.
Yeah.
No,
Hmm,
or was something different,
totally.
totally different, and we knew it, and that's why we got a lot of shit. no one could understand. No one understood what this band was like. Fur and leather. What the fuck? What are swords and you know?
Yeah, it's a crazy image.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Valhalla and freaking, you know, just a lot of things.
Yeah.
I
Now
didn't
it's
back at it. I don't think it was that out of character for everybody, except that we wanted to separate ourselves from everyone else. So, and we did.
yeah. Now it's wild with your the first like record, Battle Hymns. Now our buddy Jay, who he actually discovered you guys while serving, and the soldiers would listen to Manowar for like strength and motivation. How does that make you feel as a musician?
That's right.
That
Well,
Battle Hymns was literally used as battle hymns.
right.
I think that's huge.
They all those records were I have some all those records. Let me show you something. Hold on. As a matter of fact, I mean it's Hail and Kill and the Jane's Defense magazine. And it says songs most listened by troops going into battle. Right,
Yeah.
Manowar Kill number 5
Wow.
of all the songs. You know, think about that. And I had so many veterans come up to me and said, you actually saved my life. Listening to that music just kept pushing me and pushing me on. You know, and I have lifelong friends. And they, as a matter of fact, I have such a friend. Hold me, let me get something. 1 second.
No worries.
Okay. Okay. So it says here. Let me get a little light on the subject here. So it says certificate of honor presented to Ross the Boss Friedman in appreciation of your tireless efforts in support of the United States Armed Forces. Your dedication to the country and its military are commendable. You are an honorable addition to the fight for freedom throughout the world. On this day, 5th day of September in the year 2014, we are proud to honor you by making you an honorary member of the United States Marine Corps. We are one strong brotherhood and appreciate all of your efforts. With great pride and honor, we say thank you. Sergeant Jason Rudgy Tonry, Lance Corporal Ernest Teen Wolf Taylor.
Wow. That's what an accomplishment. If that doesn't motivate you to make music, I don't know what will.
Well, I mean,
That's huge.
this was because the Marine Corps don't make honorary Marines, the Navy Department, they don't do that. But individual Marines can do this.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
it's something that I cherish this. And when I meet actual veterans and saying, "Oh, your music," wow, it's a truly a great honor. I mean,
When did you get that?
uh, like 9 years ago, 14,
Wow.
2014. I've known him, and we talk
Cool.
all the.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Sergeant J, my boy.
Yeah. I met him in a record store.
Yeah,
Yeah, in
you,
Upton.
Tony.
I
You
lost
know
you
this
for a
guy?
sec. What'd you say? Jay? Yeah.
You know Tony,
Yeah.
the sergeant. You do.
Yeah. I he goes to a record store I work at.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's
Yeah.
great. So
Yeah,
he did.
we talk for hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So he did that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What an honor, man.
I know.
Really
This is
awesome stuff.
this is not an official document of the U.S. government. See,
Hmm.
because you know, they felt enough to do that. So
So that's interesting how they can do that as an individual.
yeah,
Huh. I didn't know that.
they can. Yeah.
Interesting. So going back to Manowar, how quick did Manowar develop after that Black Sabbath dressing room
Well,
jam?
we got a bunch of songs together. Well, you got to understand, we didn't have a name, we didn't have a drummer, we didn't have a singer yet, so it was
Yeah.
just Joey and me, punching out songs and jams and stuff like that, and recording them on cassette players, and it's like we did whatever we did, and so once again, I had a friend, my wife at the time, her best friend Jean was going out with this guy Bob Curry, who was the head of EMI A&R in New York City.
Hmm.
So,
Wow.
oh, he comes to see. Well, before that, before Hawaii, he came to see Shakin' Street with Blue Oyster Cult at Asbury Park. So he had known me, he had seen me play already, and the first thing he says to me after the show, he goes, "I'm going to do a project with you." And I go, "Yeah, uh-huh." Little did he know what that project was going to be.
Wow, a lot of networking for you.
Yeah.
Like,
So everything
wow.
all in the right spot. So I had this hookup with EMI, and so I got Curry to give us a demo budget, blah blah blah, and yeah. So finally, and then we went into the studio. We had Carl Kennedy play on the first demo from the Rods,
Yeah.
and then Joey had this guy that from his town, Louis Murillo. So I go, Louis Murillo. I mean, this guy he had an amazing voice, and he was on the verge of retirement because he had enough with upstate and everything. But Joey got him to come and sing, and we got you know they signed it. They signed it, and actually Curry came to see Joey and I just play together. And, guys, he goes, "You guys play so loud and hard. It sounds like a drummer's playing." He's like, it almost sounds like a drummer's playing. So we were at that point of our lives. We were very gung ho, and so we got signed to EMI, and there we go.
Nice. How'd you get Orson Welles on the first record?
We got Orson Welles because once again, uh, you know, I said, Bob, I got the song Dark Avenger, and I need a voice. James Earl Jones, Vincent Price, something like that, and Orson Welles. Orson Welles. So next thing we know, we're in New York for a little bit. Um, he called. He found the manager. He found Orson's manager. He's living out in Las Vegas. And the strange thing, we sent him the text. They loved the lyrics. And that weekend, that upcoming weekend, everything was falling into place. He was coming to New York. He was flying to New York for the night of 1,000 stars at Radio City Music Hall. So he we got him and we brought him to sent the limo for him and brought him to Media Sound, right near 57th Street where he was staying, and he couldn't come up the regular elevator because he was too big. So they had to bring him up the freight elevator. It was huge,
Wow.
so it was like,
Jesus.
yeah. So he's in the studio and we're coming. We're on our way. He was like a few minutes early, and like we walked into the studio, and what we heard was, "Where are the authors here?" And was like, fucking thing was shaking. It like the was shaking from this guy's voice, and Joey like was like, "Whoa, whoa." That's him. It's like, this guy's gonna do our shit. So he loved it. He did Dark Avenger, he did Defender, and he did Ladies and Gentlemen, All Hail from the United States, Manowar.
That's awesome. That's so cool you got him on. And it's just such a fitting cameo, a feature.
Yeah,
Now I also wanna touch upon this because I have to, like, you guys signed a contract in your blood, right? Did you draw that live or was it like, oh yeah?
it was real, totally real.
You just slice your hand? Oh, and what label was that?
Music for Nations, John Z, and Megaforce.
Oh, cool.
Johnny
Wow.
Z, who had discovered this band called Metallica, and then I got Anthrax signed.
You got Anthrax signed.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Anthrax was like bothering him, bothering John Z, tracking him down at at gas stations and shit. And he said, "Get out of here!" He said, "Go get Ross to produce one of your records, to produce something." And they Scotty and contacted me, and I goes, "Okay." So let's go into the studio. And what we did was Howling Furies and Soldiers of Metal
Wow.
with Neil Turbin. And Soldiers of Metal got them signed.
Huh. I
Then,
had no idea you were part of Anthrax's history.
oh yeah,
Wow. That's
and I
cool.
got them through my Marshall endorsement. I got them all those Marshall cabinets they had.
Huh. Wow. They can thank Ross the Boss, I guess.
Yeah.
That's I had no idea. Wow. So Manowar has a reputation of being like one of the most intense live bands ever. Can you tell me about some of the most like memorable shows you've done as Manowar?
Well, I only lasted in that band until '88. You know.
You must have done a handful though.
Oh, we did.
Like
I'm
that's
a,
6 records.
the first in 6 records in 6 years. The first
Yeah.
show, the first show in England, the first we played live on TV from the Ed Sullivan Theater, Nickelodeon. you know, first band to
Wow.
play there. It was like, what the fuck are these guys? And
Yeah.
there's a lot of things, a lot of great things we did.
That's cool.
Not enough. We didn't do enough playing, and then that was
Yeah.
the problem in the United States.
Hmm.
Because Joey didn't want to do any playing without all the gear. So I said, Joey, we
Really?
just do a small truck, get into the truck, and go start touring everywhere. Because all the other bands were.
Yeah, and you guys had such a dedicated fan base.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you still do, obviously, but
it could have been huge in this country too.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know,
So, and that's interesting to hear. And I feel like, that disagreement with you and Joey kind of evolved. So, what actually, if you don't mind me asking, happened between you and Joey after the sixth album?
well, I kind of think that I don't know. Someone wanted to gain control of the whole band. Someone wanted
Hmm.
all the money. Someone didn't want someone that probably knew more than him as a 50-50 partner, you know? And,
Yeah.
it's just greed. It's stupidity. Because let's face it, those 6 albums are those 6 albums. And then after that, I mean, they're good. I mean, good stuff, but I don't know.
It doesn't touch the first
No,
six.
it's not even close. I could say that, I'm not I don't want to be disrespectful to other artists, but I mean,
Yeah. And I'm in like my 20s, so it's not like, I have that bias, but like totally the first six, it's obvious that you had a part in it. That's really unfortunate. And it sucks that that happens to bands where
and
there's just such an ego.
yeah, and what sucked even worse is I didn't even do the Kings of Metal tour.
Yeah,
And
that's
that tour could
ridiculous.
have been really big all over the place, you know, and it was just a shame. It was a damn shame.
Especially in America.
Yeah, it was a damn shame. Really
So
was.
what led you coming doing the cameo in 2005 where you played 2 songs with them?
Well, that was the Earthshaker thing.
Hmm.
He decided to get everyone on the stage together.
Yeah.
But actually, it started my reemergence in Europe. So
Hmm.
so
Cool. You guys share any words during that, or was it just get on the stage and get off the
no,
stage?
I didn't, with him. But
Yeah.
the more the years went by, the more angrier I got
I don't
from
blame you. Yeah.
yeah, more anger I got from him, and then just he won't contact me. I mean, he contacted me when Doc died, but that was about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Would you ever share the stage with Manowar again, or is that in the past?
I would never say never.
Hmm.
I don't say that. Never is, I won't say that. I won't say that. Because I'm too smart to know that I'm like, if someone tells me and pays me to go play someplace, I will do it. you
Yeah.
know, but
Fair enough.
yeah, I mean, I would never say it would be fun. I have no objection to that, you know, but
Cool.
it, there would have to be some agreements.
Yeah, obviously. So, how did your experiences in Manowar influence the Ross the Boss band?
Well, it's that legacy that I play off of those first six records, which has fueled my record contract with AFM, who I'm
Yeah,
renegotiating now. And I do the set of the old stuff, the way it should be played. And we throw in the RTB songs. And as a matter of fact, I'm waiting on a mix of my new song. I mean, either tonight.
awesome.
I wrote this song with Mark. It's like it's a truly band effort. It's great. It's called One and All, and it's just incredible. It could be the best song we ever wrote. So
I'm very excited.
yeah. So I mean, I'm telling you, I don't say that if it ain't. So we're waiting on it. So we're here. I'm going to Houston tomorrow.
Cool.
Houston and then St. Louis, and home on Sunday, and then we'll just get ready. How we're going to push the single? What are we going to do? Maybe do a
Yeah.
video. We have a legacy vinyl album coming out on AFM, the Ross the Boss greatest hits, if you will. best
Awesome.
best of Ross, 3 from the 4 records. I saw the red vinyl; it's gorgeous. And we have vinyl. We have for the tour. We have a new song. So I think it's going to be pretty good.
Cool. Now, Born of Fire, I feel like has some of the best material you've ever written.
That's
So, is there any more you can tell me about the follow-up? Is
well.
that everything? Like,
You will listen to the first follow up.
oh yeah.
That's the song. But yeah, I think I'll have a new record next year. I mean, the idea of me
Okay.
doing a record now, it's just another 10 songs. I mean,
Fair
God,
enough. Yeah.
ah,
And
man.
with the new dictators and everything, like I don't
New
blame you.
Dictators, new Ross the Boss song. I mean, listen, I'm not objecting to it, but they're gonna want a CD out of me, and I'm gonna like we'll
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. But
No,
I
fair enough.
but Mark has a lot of good ideas. I got a lot of ideas percolating. I'm sure I co-wrote the song with One and All with Mark Lopes and what's his face from Savage Existence, Anton DeRusso.
Cool.
Yeah, and he's got, so I'm sure he's got a few items I can pluck out of him.
Yeah. So everyone knows your skill as like a guitar player, but a lot of people don't recognize like how good of a songwriter you are. So what's your songwriting process look like?
When I was younger, it was a lot easier to do. You get a riff, you get an idea in your head, and then you take it from there. And it's basically the same thing. I mean, I wrote on the new song. I wrote the lead section. I wrote the chorus, the big fucking chorus, and in the end, it's just if you get the most important thing when you get ideas, you have to be able to get it down to record them. Because I find as I've gotten older, if I have a really good idea in my head, if I don't put it down right away, I forget it. And that's terrible. You can't forget your good ideas and your what comes out. You can't forget that. You just can't forget
Yeah.
those sent from the heavens. You know,
Yeah.
so all the records I wrote, for Heyday and for Spinachas and all the those records and those songs you have to you know capture them early,
Yeah. Record them.
capture
Totally.
the inspiration early.
Yeah. So I feel like you've seen such an evolution of the genre of just general heavy metal. What's your opinion on the current state of metal?
Well, I got to be honest with you. I'm a gimme radio DJ. Okay, gimme radio,
Yes. Yeah, of course.
gimme metal. It's gimme metal now, and I do a show every other Friday, and my show's coming to this Friday.
Awesome.
Uh, right, I've done. This is my 119th show, so I don't know. I mean, I don't program my music because I suggest what I want. I put my friends in this and that and that. But Dean, my friend Dean, does it because Dean, I have no idea what these bands are. I mean, he knows the underground bands. He knows everything. But I would say when I'm listening to them at my show, I'm saying those guys sound really good. There's a lot of great stuff out there, you know. So I would say, you know, it's in good shape. Metal is in good shape.
Yeah,
You know,
there's
it
so
really is
much of it now.
so much. You know, let me give you an example.
All right.
Hold on. Bing, everything's going Bing. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me give you an example of my show coming up.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I know Dave Mustaine
Yeah.
did something with Gimme Metal too.
Okay. So my show, my Friday show is Metalhead by Blotto, Hung, Drawn, and Quartered, Raven, Soldiers of Fortune, Thin Lizzy,
Awesome.
Iron Iron Plains, Megaton Sword, The Nile Song, Pink Floyd, Baby Borderline, Soraya, Snow Tiger, Tanith, Fools, Van Halen, Times Missing, Torch, Young Fast Scientific, The Dictators, Cold
Awesome.
Moon, Bloodstar, Ozone, Ace Frehley, Super Stupid, Funkadelic, You Drive Me Wild, The Runaways, Death Vision, Bat Lips, Dragonfly, Mahogany Rush, Forest, Moon Temple, Two Words, Two Worlds, Exandria, Obsidian, Night Demon, I Am Them, Hanget, The Phantom Spell, Nantucket Sleigh Ride Mountain.
That's awesome. Pretty wide net right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And it
great.
So I mean, I have 119 shows, 100,
Wow.
recorded, So
Yeah, the Nile song's great. A lot of people don't forget about that Floyd song. It's such a heavy
it is.
song.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a good one. So we got the Dictators back. The new, are we
mhm.
calling it the new Dictators or still just the
No,
Dictators?
dictators,
The
dictator.
Dictators, dictate. So
Yeah.
so what led to the band like coming back together for their new life?
Well, after New York, the Dictators NYC
Mm-hmm.
with Dean Rispler, my boy from with Daniel Ray, the Ramones producer, and J.P. Patterson, Handsome Dick Manitoba, and me. After that last tour, we just broke up because no one wanted to work with Mr. Manitoba anymore, and you know, so it was kind of shit. Now we're going through legal shit with him, but
Wow.
uh, Dean goes to me. No, bro. Only way the Dictators will ever play again, and this takes me out of the loop. Is you get the band back together with Andy, and that's what
Mm,
I did. I
that's
said,
awesome.
to get the band back together, we wrote a song. It's YouTube. It's on
Yeah,
YouTube. We
the
did a
band.
video.
That's literally
Uh,
what the song's called, right?
let's get the.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's what's working.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome. So what can you tell me about new music from the Dictators?
it's really good.
Well, I knew that.
No,
That's awesome.
there's a. You're gonna have to hear it. It's really great.
Cool.
I wrote a song and called "Thank You and Have a Day," and I think it could be one of the best songs we've ever done. And
Wow.
I wrote the riff. It's really fucking really pretty good.
Well, that's
So I'm very
great to
proud of that.
hear.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So
because you're saying you're writing
so
amazing material for your Rasta Boss band. We're getting great material from the
yeah,
Dictators. So there's a bit of almost like a renaissance going on right now with your songwriting,
would
which
say
is
so.
really
Say
exciting.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
good. It's good. It's good. A lot of positive energy here now.
yeah, cool. So lastly, as we wrap up here, what's the best way
Tonight,
for fans? What's that?
I'm going to
What's
see about my new song. The next was it's
awesome?
tonight. We've been waiting for get that guy. Come on, man.
You glitched out for a second.
Well,
What did
you
you say?
can't tell. You can't tell him. There's my mix is coming tonight
Oh,
of my new
cool.
song, so
Awesome.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I
one and
cannot
all.
wait to hear it. So lastly, as we wrap up, what's the best way for fans to keep in touch with you and your music?
Dictators, the dictators.com. Ross the Boss on Facebook, Ross Friedman, Ross Band, Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all that fucking shit. You know,
All the
I'm actually
social
getting sick.
medias.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually getting
It is almost like a
Instagram
job within
and
itself running it. Like it's kind of a pain.
I see these guys. I see these guys on Instagram with 1,015 on Twitter with thousands of posts. I mean, I have like a maybe 80 posts. You know,
Yeah.
I patience for this. You know,
It
plus I have a
sucks.
business to run.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus I have my batting.
Yeah. So you're
So
running, you're juggling plenty right now.
yeah,
It
I'm like
sucks.
I would like before the LED lights, you know, and they don't bust anymore, and it saves us a ton of shit, ton of money.
Yeah.
City put in. So I'm up on my ladder with the old lights, fixing lights and wires, and I'm doing and I'm doing it. You have the phone in my up on a 12-foot ladder. I'm doing it. I'm fixing bulbs. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
you, not much dangerous stuff, but I mean, I gotta you have to get it done.
Yeah. It's got to get done somehow, you know? Well, Ross, thank you so much for doing this, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem. You see
Awesome.
my
Well,
plaque up there? You know my
yeah,
plaque?
yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, awesome. Cool, cool. I couldn't read
Ambassador
it before.
presented to me at Vodka. They played there.
Well, say that again.
It was presented to me on stage at Vakken in front of
Oh,
110,000.
awesome. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think I did. I think there's footage of that. Yeah, that's
there is.
awesome, man.
Yeah,
Cool. What a great background. Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for coming on, man. I'm Brandon Baddock, and this is Disturbing the Priest.